Welcome to today's National Small Business Week discussion on our capital access programs. Capital is the fuel small businesses need to start, grow, and expand, and SBA programs help Americans to achieve the American dream of entrepreneurship.
National Small Business Week is a very special time to recognize the importance of small businesses and what they do to build vibrant communities. The goal of today's session is to dispel a few myths about the SBA, but to let you all know the tools we have in the toolbox and to also share some tips with all of you.
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing an overview of the loan programs. Our programs can start as small as $500 and go up to 5.5 million. And we have a powerful menu of product lines in order to help small businesses with all of their capital needs, from exporting to international trade to working capital. And what we're going to do with this session, we're going to talk about our 7A program. We'll talk about our 504 program, microloans, the surety bond program. We'll touch briefly on community advantage and some of the recent changes that were announced, and then we'll close and wrap. But I am really happy that I'm doing this with one of my friends and colleagues from the left coast. And so my name is Bob Nelson from Boston. And so, Carrie Hurd is our district director from the Washington district office based in Seattle. She was appointed to her position as the district director in 2017, and she first joined the SBA in 2012 in Boise, Idaho, and also spent some time as the deputy director in our New Mexico office, and has a wealth of experience when it comes to SBA's lending programs and capital access. A previous owner of a loan brokering company, she understands what small businesses face as far as the hurdles. But Carrie, it is my honor and privilege to be presenting this discussion with you, and thank you for your many years of service with the military and the U.S. Army. 25 years. So, but again, I know we've done events together in the past, and I think that we want this to be fun but informative. So, Carrie, I'm very happy to be doing this with you.
Thanks, Bob. And I have to say, I couldn't be happier to do this with anybody other than you. We've done some events with Bob and I on some exporting events that were quite fun. And what I'd like you to know about Bob is that he has been the Massachusetts district director for 15 years. And he and his team during that time have accomplished a lot. They've helped thousands of small businesses access capital. They've helped businesses grow through government contracting, and they've supported the local resource partners who provide technical assistance to small businesses and help them to thrive and to share their part of the American dream. Now, prior to coming to SBA, Bob actually was at the FDIC, so he knows a little bit about how the regulation of banks work. And he also spent a number of years as a commercial lender in the New England area. I think that you'll find through the conversation today that Bob is just a wealth of experience, and he's a really great guy, except when he teases me about Seattle not having an NBA professional basketball team.
Go Celtics.
But we have hockey now.
Yes, cool. So Carrie, let's talk about 7A loans. And so we know that is SBA's most popular loan program. So for the participants today who are just joining in, they need to know, what is a 7A loan? How do they access it? What do they need? What can they use the money for? So and I know we get these questions all the time. What's the main things that you would want this audience to know when you think of the 7A program?
When I think of the 7A program, I think about when people say, oh, I have an SBA loan. What I'd like you to know is, first of all, a lot of our SBA loans, you're not borrowing directly from SBA. You're borrowing from a lender, and then we in turn guarantee that loan like an insurance policy. By doing this, we're encouraging the lender to say yes when often maybe there's a shortage of collateral, or maybe you're a newer business and you don't have quite the track record. If you need working capital so that you can pay salary and raw materials, or you need equipment, and even real estate, you can go to your local bank and you can get a guaranteed loan through us, or through them, but guaranteed by us. And that can help you. Their terms are much better than you could get if you were to try to go and get funding, where if you're a startup, it's costly money, and the banks will give you a decent rate. um, they're professional, they help their community, and it's just really great to work with them, to work with you, so that you can get the money you need to finance your business.
Yeah, so Carrie, I know your experience is probably the same as here in Boston and Massachusetts. Often, this is the only way that the small businesses are going to get the capital that they need, with the help and support of the SBA guarantee. And our guarantee, as you mentioned, helps the lender get to yes. And traditionally, our guarantee is 75 to 85% of the loan. So you can see how much we really reduce the risk on the part of the lender to give them the incentive to make the loan to that small business. Because this is a program, it's all about trying to help small businesses to grow, to help build vibrant communities, to help these businesses to create jobs. But as far as eligibility for an SBA 7A loan, you need to be a small business. And we often get the question, what is small by SBA? And what I can tell you is in most markets across the country, 95 to 98% of the businesses are considered small by SBA size standards. So don't let size be something that is going to hold you back from talking about an SBA loan with your lender. But when you think about SBA loans, and I know of all the different SBA success stories in the businesses that we've helped with starting up, and about 25% of our loans in Massachusetts are to early stage businesses that are 2 years old or less. And we help them with the money so that they can lease a property, make tenant improvements, to pay salaries, working capital needs. SBA loans can be even used to buy equipment, to buy owner-occupied real estate, as long as the small business occupies a majority of the space. But I guess one of the myths that I want to dispel is that it's difficult to obtain an SBA loan. And I happen to think, with the help of the field office staff and our research partners, we really have simplified the process to make it easier for you. And I know across many markets across the United States, there's a robust network of lenders who are actively looking to lend to small businesses looking to borrow. So
That's right, Bob. And the number one reason for using an SBA guaranteed loan is a shortage of collateral. So if you think about electrical, engineering, contracting, often they don't have a lot of hard assets, but those are very good businesses to be in, and they're very good businesses to lend in, but they just fall a little short of traditional bank requirements on collateral.
right. And so as far as what you need to apply with SBA, uh, the forms have been streamlined, the processes have been streamlined. Uh, you typically only need what you would be needing to apply for a conventional loan with the lender, with the addition of a couple SBA documents and a couple additional requirements. So again, we've made the process much easier and simpler to help small businesses. And when you look at the activity we're seeing on SBA 7A loans across the country, it's a testament to what we've been able to streamline, because the activity is definitely robust. So a couple quick things that I want to make sure that folks know. SBA does charge a a fee to get an SBA loan. We charge the fee to the lender, and the lender passes that fee normally on to the small business. But this year, there are incentives in place for loans under 350,000, where there's no fee to the lender or the borrower. So this is intended to try to get lenders back in the game of making lower dollar loans. It saves small businesses money. But one of the other recent changes that happened with SBA 7A loans is our Express program. And the Express is a very user-friendly program for not only the lender and the small business. We give the bank a 50% guarantee, so we're sharing in the risk 50-50. The lender gets to use basically their own documents and procedures. And SBA recently announced that it's a permanent change where Express now goes up to $500,000.
Yeah, that's a big difference, Bob. It's exciting that we recognize that the costs of materials have gone up, the cost of real estate has gone up. So raising these ceilings so that we can keep those loans approvable using an SBA guarantee is a big deal.
Right. So I think it's important, Kerry, for us to, you know, help the small businesses increase their chance of securing the loan. And so, you know, uh, we have help, normally free of charge through SCORE, our small business development centers, our women's centers, veteran business outreach centers, to help with the business plan that lenders are looking for in order to make sure that there's viability to the business and the proposal. And this is where the business is going to lay out what their plan is. And the business, absolutely, they need to be able to identify their management team, how they're going to use the money. Kerry, I think you said it best as far as, the small business looking at this the way that a lender would look at the request is really important. But we certainly have partners that can help increase your chance of success in securing an SBA 7A loan.
Right. And when I talk to my borrowers, Bob, I tell them make sure you go to one of those resource partners. It's no cost. And what they'll do is they'll make sure that your research in your business plan is reasonable, that your forward-looking financial statements, the projections are reasonable and justified. They'll help you lay out the communication to your lender that highlights how are you going to use this money. What's important to know is that what you're going to use the money for often will determine what the um, loan program is that they'll put, because there's different terms for working capital, different terms potentially for equipment, depending on what you're buying. And you want to maximize the term for the type of funding that you need. And they'll be able to put you in a product based on what you need that will meet your needs and do so with your interests at heart.
I think it's really important for the audience to know that personal credit is important. You need to make sure a bank is going to look at the 5 Cs. What's the character of the applicant, the cash flow, the collateral, the capitalization of that business, and certainly the conditions. So, an SBA guarantee does not make a bad loan a good one. So, it's really important that your plan is solid, that the numbers make sense, that your projections are reasonable. And again, I can't stress enough that in any market across the country, we have a partner network that is ready and available to help you, with one-on-one, whether it's, we're getting back to some in-person, but virtual appointments certainly make it easy to meet with any of our resource partners so that they can understand your plan and, again, help your chances of success. So, Kerry, should we shift? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, should we shift on to the next? Oh,
yeah, let's talk about the 504. Yeah. So
yeah, because that program is my favorite in the sense of it really makes sense to have two lenders where we reduce the risk of one lender to 50%, but then the rest of that loan is fixed with a lender that is actually a partner to SBA, and fixed rate loans are a pretty darn good deal, Bob.
Absolutely. So
And the rates are fantastic.
uh, rates have been amazing over the past couple years. Certainly with the 504, one of the beauties of the 504 is that because of the SBA guarantee and the way the program works, it has below market pricing. So when you think of 25-year fixed rate, fully amortizing, with normally, and this is the other beauty of the 504 program, only typically have to come up with a 10% equity injection requirement. So there is no place that you can go for a conventional loan on commercial real estate where you're only going to have to come up with 10% down and to get 25-year or 20-year fixed rate money.
Exactly. Um, the uh, the interesting thing about that is that a lot of businesses lease their space, and then their rent goes up maybe a little bit each year. And then what if that owner wants to sell that property? Well, this program will help you invest in that rent into owning that property and help reduce your risk in the future. And then, if you later sell your business, you also get the equity that's built up in that building. So it's a really terrific program.
It is. And so, as far as the mechanics on how this works and applying for a 504 loan, I know, in different markets, depending on where you're located, there are what are called 504 CDCs, 504 Certified Development Companies. They are the organizations that facilitate the application to the SBA for the 504 loan. They work with what we call the third party lender on putting together the project in the whole transaction. And there are some really talented people out there helping to make 504 easy. And, interest rates are rising, but they are very attractive still. And, you could potentially be owning your owner occupied real estate at the same amount as you would be paying in a lease situation. So this is certainly something that you might want to consider. And one of the other things that you can do with a 504 is you could also potentially refinance some existing debt. And so when you think of the potential to possibly refinancing debt into a 20 or 25-year fixed rate money at still incredible interest rates, it's certainly something that you should talk to, SBA's partners, 504 CDCs. They can help you with your questions and to navigate the whole process.
The lenders are amazing how they'll walk through that with you. So you don't have to get too worried about that.
They really do. Yes.
And they work well together. So
Yeah.
should we talk about microloans? In the essence of, we might have a lot of startups out there listening in our audience today. Maybe there's some folks who have never gotten a loan at all, not a mortgage on a house or a car loan. But some people like paying cash for stuff, and now they've started a business. Perhaps they worked for a landscaping company for many years, and now have decided, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go out and start my own business, and they go and meet with one of our partners. What would you advise, Bob, as far as where to go to get an SBA microloan?
Right. So the way the microloan program works is SBA lends funds to what we call a microloan intermediary. They in turn will lend the money out to small businesses up to $50,000. 50,000 is the maximum under SBA's microloan program. But what we typically see across the country is microloans might be an average loan size of about 10, 12, $15,000. Microloans often are for riskier loans, so they're for loans that aren't quite bank ready. And these microloan intermediaries, they're mission focused, and their purpose is to try to help often underserved small businesses with this access to capital. So that, as I mentioned in the very beginning, so that folks can realize the American dream through entrepreneurship. And so, with the microloan program, one of the critical components of it is technical assistance. And we need to make sure that small businesses have the knowledge and skills that to successfully run a small business, and that's a component of everything that we do, but it's a critical component of the SBA microloan program, and that consists of both pre and post technical assistance.
When those borrowers come in, Bob, they typically don't have the CPAs on staff. They may have had an attorney set up their LLC, but they don't have an ongoing relationship with the attorney. Um, with those small business micro lenders, they kind of act as that board of director for the small business and guiding them, asking them those tough questions, making sure they're on track. Something that I feel like they do that's really extra special is they will call and check and see how you're doing. You know, they're part of your partnership, they're part of your team. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you pay back that loan and grow to be big enough where you can actually go and then get maybe a community advantage loan or a 7A loan with a lender. So
I agree 100%, Carrie. So, uh, I think across all the different programs, the SBA lenders are partners with the small business. So the small business, they have their yeah, their lawyers, their CPAs, their bookkeepers, but the lender that small businesses work with, it really is an important relationship. So, making sure that you're comfortable with the lender that you're working with, whether it's a 7A or a 504, but the micro loan program, as you mentioned, they do hold your hand, very much a part and partner to the small business, with really important technical assistance. And I can't stress enough when you look at the stats as far as the beneficiaries of the microloan program. These are small businesses, and a good percentage are underserved small businesses, whether it's veterans or women owned, minority owned. But I think, Carrie, it might be good if we let them know about Lender Match, but how to connect with the district office. How do they get some follow-on advice from us? So, do you want to talk about Lender Match and how they can
sure.
find lenders?
Sure. So at SBA, we have SBA.gov lender match. It works kind of like a dating match system, where you put in some information about what you're trying to accomplish. And we have lenders at all different levels, micro lenders, our community advantage lenders, our 7A lenders who have opted into this program so that when you are looking for a lender, they actually see a little bit of your data, and then they see if they feel like they're a good fit to help you. And then if the lender opts into your particular information, you'll each exchange contact information and you'll set up a conversation, and you'll learn a lot more about what they need, and they'll learn a lot more about you. And it's been very successful, Bob. We've had over $1 billion lent through that program. And so it's phenomenal. We keep improving it constantly. And I think it really is kind of the way to electronically use technology to connect borrowers to lenders.
And so I do want to again reinforce, tapping our partner network, especially the Small Business Development Center network, also the women's centers, and SCORE, we goal these organizations, our partner network, with capital infusions or the number of transactions. So they certainly are motivated to help. They, I know small business development centers, they know who will take on more risk, who will do different types of transactions. So, they can be a valuable resource for all of you as far as navigating who to go to and the best partner lender in order to get the money that you need.
Yep. And you can find a local office by going on our website. And if you put in your zip code, it will give you the location that's closest to you. If you find a lender that you want to work with, that you want to know if they're SBA participating, feel free to call our local office. We'll let you know. We often tell people to start with the bank that or credit union that they actually bank with currently. And, if they're not, they'll let you know. And too bad, you should tell them they should be. And then, our office, we also have on our website our lender rankings and stuff. So there's plenty of places to find out where our lenders are. So,
Well, absolutely. So, I want to put in a quick plug on some recent announcements on Community Advantage, because I think this is a big deal, and I know that we're excited about this in Massachusetts. And so, Community Advantage falls under the SBA's 7A program. So it's a guarantee program where SBA provides a guarantee in order to help the lender get to yes. But Community Advantage is just a little bit different, because Community Advantage lenders, like our microloan intermediaries, they're mission focused. But so some of the recent changes that were announced by Administrator Guzman was, Community Advantage going up to 350,000. The ability to potentially get an unsecured loan up to $50,000. Streamlined underwriting and collateral requirements. So these are all very positive changes that were announced. And I know that we're in discussions here locally with trying to get our lenders, but more importantly, to get some new lenders interested in applying for Community Advantage status so that they could make these loans, get an SBA guarantee. 60% of these loans are targeted to go to underserved communities. So, your veterans, your women, your minorities, this is a program in order to try to make an impact with businesses that need the help. And so I know that we're excited about this in Massachusetts, as I'm sure you are, Carrie, and folks across the country.
We are, because we see this as the perfect bridge to fill the gap from when the borrower is the microloan and he grows, but he's not quite yet ready to go to the commercial lender and get an SBA 7A guaranteed loan. So this fits that space where they can still come in, get financing with a guarantee to SBA and be able to grow their business. So it's just that nice fit in between.
Yeah, and so I know the field network, the district offices, there are 68 like Washington and Massachusetts across the country. And, I know that we're reaching out to potential lenders to try to get them interested in Community Advantage. So this is all brand new. It was just recently announced. So wanted to just make sure that you were aware and to hear when you hear Community Advantage, so that you know what this is and how that is potentially going to help small businesses with their capital needs. And before we close, Kerry, I think it's important for us to just let folks know that SBA does have a surety bond guarantee program. And, so there are lots of entities out there that get contracts. They need a bid, payment, or a performance bond. And, like our loan programs, under the surety bond guarantee program, we provide a guarantee to help the surety get to yes so that the bond happens. And so the small business is not going to be successful with getting the contract unless they have the bonding capacity and they can get approval for the bond. And so this is where SBA, I don't think a lot of lenders might know that we do have a surety bond guarantee program, but it's been extremely active over the past couple years with some streamlined enhancements with our quick app, and we do have a preferred surety bond program. So a lot of enhancements to that along the way. Again, helping small businesses that have the potential for contracts to get the bonding that they need so that they can win the award.
Yeah, and to just kind of echo that a little bit, the if you're a contractor out there and you have enough bonding to do one job, the SBA guarantee may allow you to raise it so maybe you can do two simultaneous jobs. Or maybe instead of one, you can do three. Instead of two, maybe four. So it really does have the ability to really stretch your bonding further and help you grow.
Cool. So, I know we covered a lot of information, a lot of different programs. We said in the beginning about the wide wealth of the SBA capital programs that we have, and this was just an information session to try to spark your interest, to let you know a little bit more about the tools that we have in the toolbox, and to try to share some tips from the district office perspective in order to help the small businesses who are on today, again, to be successful and to help build vibrant communities. So, Kerry, any closing words from the great city of Seattle before we wrap up today?
So just each of you who are sitting out there today, maybe you're thinking of starting a business, maybe you're already an existing business owner. Please do not let capital be what holds you back. We know it's a challenge, and that's why SBA programs are here for you. And I wish you the absolute best in whatever industry you're in and in whatever SBA district you are. So
Happy National Small Business Week. We have some amazing small businesses who are being recognized in all the different districts and nationally. So again, enjoyed the virtual summit, and we look forward to helping you get things across the finish line. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
You got it, Kerry. Thank you.